Everyone knows that Sanji is easily enchanted by women, but there are times when he goes overboard and comes close to death because of his nosebleeds. Knowing this, in this video I have separated 11 moments in which our favorite cook almost died when faced with so much beauty, so leave a like, subscribe and comment to give that strength, and let's go. To begin with, we have the episode in which Sanji faces his double, that handsome guy who was mistakenly identified by the Marines and ended up on the real Sanji's wanted poster. During this confusion, he ends up trapped in a cage and thrown into the sea, but luckily Cammy dives in to save him. Problem is that he is too close to the mermaid and obviously almost dies from a nosebleed.
もういいよ。そのまま死んだら死んだで。
そうね。幸せそうだし。しっかりしてさ、ティティ。
ここは天国か。
The next moment takes place during the crew's reunion after the time jump. You probably remember that Sanji spent all this time training on an island without a single woman, so when he finally sees one, he freaks out. The first time this happens is when he meets Perona. He doesn't come close to death in this scene, but he has one of the strangest reactions to a woman, so I thought it would be cool to include it on the list. However, in the next scene, he really reaches his limit. In the same episode, he meets an older Nami and Robin, and at that moment, he can't hold back, literally turning into a rocket from his nose, bleeding so much. Still in this episode, when the crew needs to leave the archipelago because of the Marines, the wonderful Boa Hancock decides to help her beloved Luffy. That moment, Sanji and the others discover that the captain spent time on the Isle of Women. After feeling envious, he takes the opportunity to admire her beauty, but of course ends up petrified like most men who look at her. Now, heading to Fishman Island, without a doubt the best place for Sanji. He and his companions are taken by Cammy to explore the island, but end up in a place full of mermaids gathered together. Cook can't hold back and gets so excited that he says he found all blue. Even Luffy is surprised, commenting that Sanji is crying more than the day he left the Baratai restaurant. But it's after this drama that he really hits his peak and almost dies for real in the anime. After enjoying the moment with a mermaid, the guards looking for Luffy arrive at the place and everyone has to hide. Sanji ends up being hidden by a mermaid in a different place, where he cannot contain his happiness and almost dies. As if that weren't enough, still in this arc, he meets Princess Shirahoshi. In addition to being very beautiful, she is the biggest mermaid on the island. During this arc, it takes Sanji a while to see her in person, but when she appears behind him, Chopper begs him not to look, fearing it could lead to his death. In response, the cook gives a motivational speech about being ready to die to achieve his dream. Then he looks at Shirahoshi and, as expected, turns to stone just like Boa Hancock did, but this time the effect seems even more powerful.
俺の想像などいかに乏しいものかなんてそれこれはまさに絵にも描けない美しさ
Moving on, while Zoro fought Monet, Sanji is tasked with helping the Marines escape. However, he ends up passing through the middle of the fight and sees Monet, which causes him to lose focus again. This leads the Marines to think that the woman is powerful just for defeating the cook without doing anything. Moving to Zou Island, where the Mink tribe lives, these inhabitants have a very peculiar and pleasant way of greeting humans. Knowing this, of course Sanji wouldn't miss the chance to get close to various minks. In this scene, he meets Mississippi Nami dresses sensually and tries to approach her like minks do, but this obviously doesn't end well. He is quickly thrown away after an attack from her. Following the order of the arcs, the next one that cannot be missed is Whole Cake Island. When Sanji is being taken to marry Big Mom's daughter, he doesn't show any happiness as everything happened against his will. However, within seconds, his mood completely changes upon seeing his future bride. Enchanted by Pudding's beauty, he nearly has a heart attack. Going back to Nami, while she has issues with Shinobu and Robin, Sanji is simply hiding and spying on everything. With the help of Germa's 66S suit, he manages to become completely invisible. However, at one point, Nami accidentally drops her towel, and Sanji, unable to contain himself, reveals his presence, being discovered immediately.
破壊力。
Finally, we have the Wano arc. After the crew's big victory, they decide to relax in a hot spring. To the surprise of some, Yamato joins the boys. Seeing so much beauty, Sanji almost turns the water in the fountain red with his nosebleed and, as usual, flies away. And so we conclude the list. Let me know in the comments if there are other Sanji scenes that could complement this video so I can make a part 2. Thank you very much for watching, and until now, leave a like, subscribe, and see you next time.